Welcome, art lovers, and those of you who just generally like to watch people struggle.
Of today's artists, one will be working in gold leaf, one will be working with electrical tape, and another has been salvaging stuff from a skip.
Nothing wrong with that. That's where I got this jacket. Welcome to Sky Art's Portrait Artist of the Year.
Here at the Wallace Collection in London, we're continuing our mission to find new artistic talent.
It's the crucial moment now. I risk ruining it all.
9 more artists showcase their skills as they paint some of the country's best-loved celebrities.
The fact that she can sit like that.
It's amazing. All for the chance to win a £10,000 commission to paint broadcaster Graham Norton for the permanent collection of the National Gallery of Ireland.
But to be in with a chance, they have only 4 hours to impress the judges. Independent curator Kathleen Soriano, art historian Kate Bryan, and award-winning artist Tai Shan Schierenberg.
In this mess of grey, he's slowly appearing, and it's a very exciting painting.
So who can master their medium?
Finding it difficult to mix the right colours at the moment.
Bring life to their canvas.
It might be a bit of a challenge, this.
And earn a place in the semi-final.
Electrical tape as an art material. Were you just mending a plug and thought, you know what?
This looks like a picture.
Yeah. If I'd have been doing this today, I'd have spent the first half hour trying to find the end. Hoping to impress the judges in today's heat of 4 amateur artists: Shula Sinclair, Jennifer Newland, Dan Genders, and Amy Rogers.
I've never done anything like this before. I'm feeling quite nervous. Got a weird pain in my tummy, but I'm sure that will go once I'm sat down. But looking forward to it.
Also taking part are 5 professional artists: Sally Dyer, Edward Ofusu, Maurizio De Angelis, Rob Symington, and Taro Qureshi.
Last night I went and sat in a Wetherspoons. I did a bunch of speed portraits of people in there, and that was good. Kind of firmed me up a little.
The judges have only seen the artist's self-portraits as digital submissions, so it's time to get up close and personal.
I can't believe it's painted.
Yeah.
It's only when you get deep into the hair you can see the paint, really.
This is a really outstanding piece of work for me.
Yeah, it's full of story as well, isn't it?
I understand that she has somewhat changed her style since she painted this, so it'll be very interesting to see.
Wow.
I hope we keep the Gothic, though. I like a good Gothic
It's very wife in the attic, isn't it?
I just like the spontaneity of the mark making. The head has just appeared.
It's quite sort of beguiling. I'm sort of like, oh, that's a bit of a weird way of painting.
I like the way in which he's got that band very particularly placed across his head, and actually quite a weird way, drawing attention to his rather fantastic man bun.
Yeah, it's a good bun, isn't it? Yeah, maybe that's why I like it. It's just quite cool, isn't it?
If we stopped a passerby and said, what is this medium, I don't think many of them would guess that it's electrical tape.
No.
No, we didn't guess either.
No.
What I was originally struck by, because I didn't know the medium, was this fantastic light. The way that he's used the paper to inform the image, but also you get a genuine sense of this person existing in a time and a place.
Absolutely.
I think it's lovely.
Very intense self-portrait. I mean, there's no vanity here, I think.
What I really like about it is the handling of the watercolour. It's kind of blocky and it's heavy, even though it's actually really fluid paint on a really flimsy bit of paper. It's such a strong artwork.
The artists have been divided into 3 groups. Each group faces a different sitter with their own backdrop. However, one of today's sets is causing a stir.
The colour's a little bit garish.
Very bright. Oh, I don't know who it could be.
I'm thinking young girl, maybe early teens. Very girly colour, which I'm having trouble with. It might be a bit of a challenge, this. Well, it is a challenge, isn't it?
After working in conservation for local authorities, Rob Symington studied fine art, qualifying with an MA from the University of Chester. He painted his submission following a New Year's resolution to create a self-portrait every day.
I'm getting nervous now. I've realised I'm up against really tough competitions and superb painters, and I feel out of my depth somewhat.
Palettes prepped, brushes in place, and electrical tape at the ready, it's time to reveal the sitters.
Artists, your sitter today's a brilliant actor. He's hot in almost every meaning of the word. Please welcome James Norton. After playing a psychopathic villain in Happy Valley, James endeared himself to audiences as a sleuthing vicar in Grantchester and a lovesick prince in War and Peace. Please.
I'm going to do my prop.
You've got a prop jacket?
I don't know why. It's pretty warm, isn't it? Should I come down?
No,
do
sit there.
Oh, that's comfortable. This is going to annoy you, isn't it? I think I should get rid of my prop.
Do you want me to take the jacket away?
Go on, take it away.
I don't normally do wardrobe, but...
Sorry.
No, really, I'm happy. Have you an idea of what you're hoping for? Do you want to look noble, interesting, quirky?
I mean, yeah, you all taking notes on those that would be fantastic. I'm intrigued. I'm never had my portrait taken. I'm sat for a portrait, so yeah, it's a new experience for me. Very excited.
Artist, the sitter you're challenged to paint today is an actress with a very distinguished career in television, stage, and screen. Please welcome Leslie Manville. From playing the central character in bittersweet comedy Mum to Margaret Thatcher in The Queen, Leslie's become one of our most diverse and best-loved actors. Come and sit down here.
Thank you.
Well, now, this is not something you're used to doing.
Never done it before.
You've done everything in television, stage and screen, but you've not sat still for 4 hours.
No, I haven't.
How do you think you'll occupy your mind?
Just to sort of be calm will be quite nice. I've got scripts to think about, what I'm going to eat for dinner tonight.
Artist, your sitter today is a very versatile actor. He's also one of the UK's rising musical stars. He's the fabulous Raleigh Ritchie. Acclaimed for his roles in gangster film Adulthood, TV series Broadchurch and Game of Thrones, Raleigh has also recently released his debut music album.
Hello.
Please.
Thank you.
I hope you like pink.
I do, yeah. I wasn't sure that they'd take it this literally.
Oh, you said so. It's your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. Sorry, guys.
We've been passing paracetamol around for the artists. I should tell you that some of the sitters like to just keep an eye on how they're growing.
I think I quite like to wait. Kind of feel like it would be unfair on these guys to sort of keep an eye and be like, are you making me look good?
But there's a little subliminal hint, make me look good.
No.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to ask the artists is what sort of thing you're looking for from Raleigh?
A little glimmer in the eyes. That's what we're after.
No, that was a wink.
You need my eyes open, yeah, I assume, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you need to have your arms the same place so your shoulders don't change.
Yes. Comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to sit
deep,
cross-legged.
isn't it?
Are you able to hold that? I feel quite relaxed like that, yeah.
Good.
Artists and sitters, your challenge is about to begin.
You have 4 hours to complete your portraits, and the time starts now.
Every one of today's artists begins their portrait in their own way. Several are making meticulous plans before they transfer to their main piece.
I'm just doing a little preparatory sketch. What it does is it helps you kind of home in on interesting or troublesome areas.
Taro Qureshi studied illustration at Middlesex University and works part-time at Somerset House as a gallery assistant. Inspired by Instagram and people on the train, he completed his self-portrait in less than 2 hours. Taro.
Hi.
These are your preliminaries, as it were.
These are preparatory sketches that I don't always do, but they do help.
Whenever I see preparatory sketches, I always like them better than the painting. I don't know.
My thinking is it's all about spontaneity and energy, whereas that is kind of gone after a drawn-out sitting for a portrait.
Well, in that case, if it's all about spontaneity, why are you doing the sketches? Why isn't that happening up here somewhere?
It's the same way that if you were to like improvise a scene, you'd have your motivations beforehand and your character. So when you leap in, you can be fresh and you can be energetic, you can be off the cuff, but you know how you're approaching it.
Well, I love it already.
A crucial element of any portrait is, of course, to capture a likeness. So our artists are closely examining the details of their sitters' faces.
She has very refined features. Her eyes are not very sort of sunk back, for example. So there aren't any very strong contrasts on her face, which means I have to be subtle, and I'm not subtle.
Advertising executive and amateur artist Shula Sinclair learned to draw on the beaches in Tel Aviv by secretly sketching sunbathers. She painted her own self-portrait after a difficult year dealing with illness and says she wanted to capture her own imperfections.
Now, she's decided to sit cross-legged, which is quite daring, and you're including that.
Yes, I think if you were to end at the waist, it would be quite standard.
You'd miss something about her, wouldn't you?
Yes, exactly. And the fact that she can sit like that, I can't do it for 5 minutes, so...
It's amazing.
You know, at least she deserves that it's captured.
Tackling the outline of the face or body is the starting point for most artists. But that's not always the case.
I don't have a plan, I'm just going to go wild and see what happens.
Professional artist Edward Afosu was selected for the heats of the last series, impressing the judges with his energetic style. When he's not painting, he teaches digital art.
Really exciting. There was just so much paint in this canvas.
I got a sense of a lot of colours when I was talking to her, so I felt like let's pour some colours and then play with it and dance and create that dancing feeling.
And the shoulders, are you going to leave her floating in that black swimming pool? Or?
No, I think I'm going to put her top, everything in there.
Well, I love the sense of energy that you've got in the background that you've taken from her, but we're also going to want to see a good head as well. That's your challenge.
I know, hopefully.
We'll be watching.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, thanks.
Our artists are nearly 1 hour into their 4-hour challenge.
There's going to be quite a lot of rubbing out and amending and changing. Just got to make sure that she's there on the canvas before I bring the paints out.
We're still well in hand time-wise at the moment. Just keep plodding away.
I think I can't fight the pink. I'm going to have to go with the pink and do something in the background with pink.
With a place in the semi-final at stake, our 9 artists have been capturing portraits of James Norton, Leslie Manville and Raleigh Ritchie. With 3 hours of the challenge to go, a mix of colours are finding their way onto the canvases, but one artist has chosen a very limited palette.
Amy.
Hello.
You've started in, monochrome.
Yes, I just normally paint with black and white. I have been introducing a bit of colour into my work, only blue and red.
Okay, so that's... are you going to acknowledge the pink, do you think, today?
I don't think I will. I'm too scared. I find it really difficult to work with colour for some reason.
Amateur artist Amy Rogers used to work in a shoe shop and as a carer before becoming a learning support assistant. She painted her hyper-realistic self-portrait 3 years ago, but has made a huge change in her painting style since becoming a teacher. I have to say, I'm really impressed that you changed your style so radically, because I think that portrait is fantastic. And if I could do that, I'd probably think this is my style forever.
Thank you. I think the stuff that I'd been doing up until a couple of years ago was just so systematic and so kind of regimented in a way. I knew what the photo was, I knew what the beginning, middle and end was going to look like, and I wanted to break free.
I think it's probably good for the soul, that freer, wilder.
Yeah, it certainly does feel kind of...
How is your soul better?
I think it is, yeah.
I think I've got somewhat the likeness. I'm still working on putting more of the detail in the face. I'm not quite happy with it yet.
Amateur artist Jennifer Newland gave up a place at Central St Martin's to study at the London School of Economics. After working 11 years in brand consultancy, she returned to her first love and now paints 4 days a week whilst looking after her 2 children.
You went to the LSE.
I did.
Rather than study art. I think you're a divided spirit, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, yeah. It's quite risky to become an artist. It's quite a tough profession. It was always more of a passion for me.
So today, Leslie decided to sit cross-legged, and you decided not to bother with the cross legs.
I knew that there was a time constraint. I would have loved to do the whole pose, but I'm, again, playing it a bit safe.
The whole reason that we kind of went for hot pink for my logo and everything is because it has that natural, like...
Yeah.
We used to say pink to make the boys blink.
Yeah, it's making me blink, and you can't mix the colour.
Can you not mix the colour that way?
It's a neon pink. I think you've got to buy it ready-made. But as the days progressed, it doesn't seem to be the problem I thought it was. The way he's sitting, somehow his colouring against that pink gives him a beautiful silhouette.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Leslie is in a pastel paradise.
Yeah, she said that her house was sort of shabby chic, so it's kind of this lovely oasis around her.
Is that a problem for the painters? Because it's a sort of a washed-out look, shabby chic, isn't it?
Yeah, but she's wearing colour purposely so that it can introduce some textures. I mean, I think she's a great sitter, and she almost looks like a little Buddha sitting there with her legs crossed.
She does. I really would love to walk behind her and slowly remove the chair.
I can hear you, Frank.
Oh, sorry. She's fantastic, though, isn't she?
We've got very little set, but that makes what's there all the more eloquent, doesn't it?
I think so. The sets are subliminal in setting their context. So, for example, here, there's a reference to the fact that he likes to go swimming. But if you look very carefully, you'll see that that blue is having a really big impact on the tones of his skin and is actually giving him a lovely warmth. Actually, I think it's the perfect colour for him.
On the first impression, people may assume that I'm a bit colder and more standoffish than I am. So I'm wondering whether or not the portrait will capture that warmer side. I hope so. We'll see.
The blue background definitely affects the tone, and there's also this beautiful light coming in, so it makes the setting even more dramatic. I want the portrait to reflect this.
Originally from Rome, professional artist Maurizio De Angelis paints portraits as well as specialising in scientific illustration. For his submission, Maurizio experimented with a monochromatic technique before covering the background in his signature gold.
Your submission was like looking at this extraordinary relic of a past time, like maybe you'd find it in a church in Byzantium or something. Yeah. It's like an icon painting. Yeah. Am I going to see any of that gold leaf?
Yeah, I really like Italian art and French art, and the use of the gold leaf gives something more to the painting.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see that fused with your very contemporary style.
Thank you so much.
Acrylics and oils are amongst the mediums being used today, but one artist doesn't have a paintbrush in sight.
I use electrical tape, so I cut it with scissors and fine bits just to kind of build up the face, really. So yeah, electrical tape, coloured electrical tape.
Primary school teacher and amateur artist Dan Genders makes most of his art during half-term breaks. His submission was his first ever self-portrait and took him 24 hours to produce.
I've transferred my felt tip sketch over to here. Now I'm starting to snip and cut pieces, and then they kind of gather on the scissors. So I take them off the scissors with a tweezer and place them on.
Dan.
Hello.
Were you just mending a clog and thought, you know what?
This looks like a picture.
Yeah.
No, well, I'm a teacher, so it was getting the kids to slow down. Rather than doing quick marks with pencil, it was getting them to cut the tape to make marks.
So to slow them down, you thought, I'll give them a difficult, meticulous medium to work.
Didn't have much planned that day, so...
Okay. If I'd have been doing this today, I'd have spent the first half hour trying to find the end.
With my skin tones, I mix all the different colours and I just apply them and dab in them until it kind of reflects the shape of the face. I'm just trying to make sure that it represents James and his character and bring a bit of life to it.
Professional artist Sally Dyer made it through to the semi-final of the last series of Portrait Artists of the Year with her painting of actor Daniel Roche. Since then, she has quit her job at a cafe and opened an art workshop with her mum in Preston. Sally.
Hello.
It seems like only yesterday we were speaking over your palette. So you've changed, I think. I think your art has changed, and I think you've changed a bit, do you?
Yeah, I do. I think I'm more confident with my mark making and perhaps observe a bit more detail that I can include in the painting.
Oh, yeah, I think, yeah, you've grown up.
Thanks.
While most of the artists are well into the painting stage, one board is rather bare.
You've started with just a bit of drawing to guide you.
Yeah, of the most important parts.
This is a really light drawing.
Yeah,
okay.
all I'll need,
so I
really.
can only just really make out the shape of...
Through the footprints.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I've got enough to go on now. I'm gonna get going and then finish in like a record pace.
It makes it exciting for us to watch because you're relying so much on your intuition. So
It was also slightly nerve-wracking, I must
yeah,
say.
you might age us a bit today, this afternoon, but
no way.
yeah.
I don't want to see any. I don't want to see any of it.
It's probably best not to, actually.
Raleigh has decided to keep his portrait a surprise, but the other sitters can't help sneaking a peek at the artist's progress.
Hey, are you picking anything up? It looks like the smallest. Oh my God, the intricacy is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You're still a work in progress. So
Of course it is. It's terrible looking at things before they're finished. It's like somebody coming to watch me rehearsing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. God, you're all so clever. I can't even draw a cat.
Well, I can't act, so...
That's right. We all do what we do.
Exactly.
It's nearly halfway through the competition.
I'm finding this stage unusually hard. Her skin is quite pale and the background's quite pale, so I'm finding it difficult to mix the right colours at the moment.
The face is yet to bring it out because it's still in the background, so I have to push it hard. I'm giving myself more work to do, but I think I'll be fine.
2 hours left. I don't have a particular plan. I'm just going to hone in on the eyes and the nose and the mouth and kind of bring more detail into it. Yeah.
It's the crucial moment now. I'm not going to try anything too new at this point. If it doesn't happen in the right way, I risk ruining it all.
Here at the Wallace Collection in London, our 9 artists have already completed 2 hours of their challenge to paint actors Raleigh Ritchie, Leslie Manville and James Norton, giving our judges plenty of time to reflect.
Halfway time. What do you make of it so far?
Overall, I think they had quite a slow start. I think it might be something to do with the fact that a lot of them started drawing.
Taro didn't put paint on his canvas for a while.
He's really trying to negotiate the sense of the character, and that may pay dividends in the end. The only one who didn't do that, of course, was our Edward.
Edward was slapping on paint within 30 seconds.
He's now in competition with his own painting. He's got to get the face to be able to sort of exist on that same canvas as that background.
Now, what about Dan?
Dan's using the tape, and we were rather taken with his self-portrait, with the number of colours that he used within it. But I'm curious to see whether he can get that range of tones in the skin, whether he can get that light and dark with only one colour.
For me, at the moment, it's a bit flat. I'm waiting for it to come to life.
We were looking at Amy's painting this morning, think, how the hell is she going? We knew she'd change her style, but how is she going to get that quality? And she stayed monochrome, but in this sort of mess of grey, he's slowly appearing. It's a very exciting painting.
I don't think we've ever had such an extreme before, where someone has submitted something so exquisitely rendered and then turns up on the day with this very loose style. It's really interesting to watch her.
Our sitters have been patiently posing for more than 2 hours, and I think James has forgotten I'm looking after his wardrobe.
James. Looking good, don't you think?
Hey, you are looking good.
Yeah, not everyone can carry off a tweed.
You look great, mate. I thought you were just going to hang it up. Maybe give it a press.
I've been through the pockets. I've actually, honestly, I could feel something heavy in the pocket. I thought, oh my God, he's arrived with a firearm. And then this is actually in the pocket. How's it actually going? Has it been good?
It's been lovely. I mean, it's the dream job for a lazy actor. You get to sit, you have an audience, you don't have to do anything. You just sit.
Well, you've done a great job.
Thanks very much.
I'm just going to go and brush against some easels. See you later.
See you in a bit.
I'm really enjoying it, and the whole notion of being painted, it has gravitas, doesn't it? They're looking not just at the physical, they're considering how they think I look, as well as what I actually look like. All of that's really fascinating.
It seems a little bit vain to say, I'd recommend that anybody has their portrait painted, but just sitting, being a sitter is really nice.
Are you going to add any other colours?
I'm pondering it at the moment. I'm going to see how I am in the next 20 minutes or so.
Would you like to then?
Yeah, I think so.
So if you did use another colour, is it going to be this pink?
Pink or maybe a yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maurizio, I see it's getting interesting here now. What do you have to do? How do you apply it?
I would do something like this. And when I place the gold, I move a little bit I want to create this dissipation.
OK, but the Holy Spirit will have arrived with James by the time you're finished. Great.
Rob, I have just to pause for a moment because that background is bright pink.
Well, I went pink.
You started pink?
Then it just suddenly dawned on me it would look a bit more interesting if I left the highlights pink there, but the background was a complementary colour to show that off a bit more.
A wise choice.
I don't know.
A bit late in the day?
It might be a bit late in the day, maybe, but yeah.
I had to know.
OK.
The artists have only 1 hour left.
I'd like to work more on the detail and on the colours and tones, and obviously I have to put something in the background, so that could go wrong.
I've tried to concentrate on the eyes and the nose and the mouth. I would like to do a second colour, but I don't think it's going to be possible.
There can be one mark that's missing that's going to unify the whole thing, or there can be one mark too much. That's when the moment of adding too much and ruining it happens.
I'm a little bit worried about the hairline. I don't know if that's in the right place.
The 4-hour challenge is coming to an end, and our artists now need to finish their portraits of James Norton, Raleigh Ritchie and Leslie Manville.
We just have to fight the time now, so everybody's fighting hard at the moment.
Artists, you have just 5 minutes left.
I'm just putting the last brush strokes down. I don't really know how it's gone, to be honest. I need to take a good step back.
Bloody hell. Just doing what I can, really. Just enough to demonstrate what his hair looks like.
I was overly optimistic. I assumed I'd be able to do a full-length portrait in a very short space of time. But it's fine, I'll keep working and it'll be good.
I'm worried it's not enough detail. It just might be too basic.
Artists, your time is up.
Please put down your materials and step back from your portraits.
Having been sitting still for 4 hours, it's finally the moment that James, Raleigh and Leslie get to see the final portraits and choose one to keep.
James, it's over. How was it for you?
It's fascinating seeing bits of tape and different brushes and colours. I can't wait to see them.
OK, so artists, can you please turn your easels?
Wow, there's 3 Jameses. 3 of me. The colour's extraordinary, and the gold leaf.
There's a sense of you exuding light, as if he's tried to capture charisma in concrete form. He just couldn't find anything.
Let's move on. Mate, that's amazing. Well done. You've made me look really clever. My mum will be overjoyed.
That's good.
I love it. I mean, I just can't believe it's done with electrical tape. It's amazing, isn't it? I love the simplicity of it. Solely on what suits me and my style and my flat, my little flat, I think I'm going to go with Dan's.
Oh, wow. They're amazing. They're very colourful. Bravo, all of you. I mean, take my hat off to you all. I think you've really caught me. I mean, the eyes are brilliant. I can see me, and it feels like me in a kind of relaxed mode. Oh, gosh. I bet you were a naughty boy at school. I mean, you just have disobeyed all the rules, haven't you, really? I mean, it's just extraordinary. This feels like the tough side of me. Something very regal about it. It's lovely. It's very tricky. I'm going to choose Edwards.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my... This is bizarre. You guys are amazing. Seriously. I absolutely love all the colours, and I can really see myself. This feels like a very emotional painting. I love the detail. The highlights, I think, actually work better than if you were to just paint the background pink. This, to me, gets better every time I look at it. It looks almost photographic. I don't quite understand how you did that. I think they all have a sense of me, but I would love your painting, Amy.
In the quiet of an empty gallery, the judges study the details of finished work.
I really like the way this red line at the top of the chair sort of slices through the mouth. It's lovely.
I think she definitely managed to catch that sort of sense of poise that Leslie had all day.
He's found a charming, may I call it that, likeness of James here. And the mark making that we talk about in oil paint is bizarre to see with chopped up bits of tape.
I'm very conflicted on this piece, but you can't deny the fact that he's captured a real sense of him.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to try and get the extra colours in and trying to get a little bit more shape and texture to the actual finished portrait. But apart from that, I was really pleased.
I think those small drawings there he was fiddling around with this morning obviously have informed him. It's got that vitality. I think it's a fantastic painting.
I think he's caught more than the likeness. I think he's caught attitude. And for me, this is one of the best likenesses and attitude capturing in the room.
I thought it started out very promisingly, and as the day wore on, Amy seemed reluctant to make decisions about the mouth and the chin, so it gets very lost there. And in terms of mark making, it's a very beautiful bit of painting, isn't it, with the drips and the wristy marks. So it's beautiful.
I would love to see that white-grey band there disappear and for him to have some definition. I don't think it would have hurt the painting at all.
I thought the painting was going quite well in the middle, but at the end, and the form wasn't quite right, which the judges might pick up on.
To help them decide who will go through to the semi-final, the judges first reduce the 9 artists to 3.
I can't quite decide between the two.
It's one or the other, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But who have they chosen?
The first artist is Amy Rogers.
And the second artist is Taro Qureshi.
And the third artist is Jennifer Newland.
What can I say? Commiserations to all the rest of you, but thank you very much for having such a wonderful day with us and letting us watch your work. Well done.
It was very intense, and yes, it was great fun. So I've had a lovely time.
As the judges scrutinise the shortlisted pieces, there's something I want to clarify.
Judges, how important is the self-portrait when you come to judge the final?
It's their history. We get to see them working on the day, but when you see what they've worked on in their own time, it gives you just a sense of them as a person and what they could produce in the future. Amy's portrait is quite messy. It's drippy and there's lots of marks, and it could be a lucky accident. But we know it's not a lucky accident, it's because of her tonal range and understanding of how light falls on skin. It's intentional, and that intentionality shows a certain sort of artistic integrity and that she knows what she's doing.
It might look easy to do that, but it's not. She's playing with paint, really trying to find the form in the paint.
I feel like we're looking at Raleigh's next album cover here, really.
Interesting, yeah.
And it's a wonderfully fresh contemporary piece.
I wish I could have had the time to put in more of the background, because I would have been able to carve out more of the features so they were more prominent.
What about Taro?
I just love the way he's caught that attitude of Raleigh so well, and the way in which he's just used that bare board, and he's just got this great confidence.
Even just the way he's put the head on that scrap of board he's found in a skip is just perfect. He's a very skilled artist.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not that bothered about the board, and the fact that he found it in a skip slightly irritates me, because it's almost he needed a backstory for himself, because I don't think that he does. I think this is a really original way of painting.
Feelings of trepidation, but that's the nature of it, and I surrender my work to the whims of them.
Now, Jennifer's self-portrait is unmistakably strong.
And she's translated that in her portrait of Leslie. The head of Leslie is slighter than her own self-portrait, but there again we can look back and see what skills she has and what knowledge she has and what she would bring to it if she had enough time.
It took me a long time, actually, to get that picture. It wasn't until the very end that I started to warm to it more and more. She's caught something of Leslie's air, I think.
She has. I like the reduced colour, it's quite quiet. I think it's the kind of painting that you could keep looking at and it would retain that kind of power. You wouldn't get used to it, it wouldn't diminish.
It's been such an incredible day. I'm quite exhausted now, so I'm actually a little bit more calm than I was when I arrived this morning.
Amy, Taro, Jennifer, only one of you can win, and the judges have made their decision.
The artists that the judges have selected, impressed with the experimental nature of their work, and produced something truly original. And that artist is Taro Koreshin.
Well done.
Completely unreal and very, very strange. Great though, really great.
Oh my God, I'm shaking.
I think Taro's portrait was very good, very creative, very spontaneous, very colourful.
The use of colour and expression in the work was brilliant. So, no, really well done to him. He's done everything well.
Having only recently graduated, I feel like this is the first step to proving to everyone that I was right about me being a painter this whole time.